Inside the stories that affect you. This is Inside KELOLAND.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for this week's Inside KELOLAND. I'm Don Jorgensen. Coming up, we are talking with Minnehaha County Auditor about how the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting this year's elections and how you can vote absentee. Plus, the community blood bank is still in need of your donations, especially as some hospitals are starting doing elective surgeries again. And finally, we are showing you some of our favorite positive stories of the week, including how one woman is using the popularity of Tiger King to spread joy to her community. We begin tonight with Minnehaha County Auditor Bob Litz, who is joining us now via Zoom. Bob, thanks for being with us. You know, if elections aren't tough enough, now you got to throw this into the mix.
Yes, Don. Yeah, it was, you couldn't explain that to me 3 months ago, and I just thought we were going to have a regular election, and then, the legislature let the local governments, meaning the school and the city, delay their elections. And the city clerk and I got together and decided that maybe we could just do it in one fell swoop. And, it'd be more convenient for folks, less exposure. And we just thought it'd save some money, too, rather than putting on two separate elections.
Yeah, you're talking about the city, the school board election joining now with the June primary. So what kind of changes did you have to make to accommodate this and make it happen?
Well, Tom Greco, city clerk, he started doing his election last probably end of February, March, basically, and recruiting workers, getting the polling places. And it was pretty much a standard election at that point. And then one by one, a lot of the precincts started dropping out, as did workers calling in. And so then when they suspended the April 14th election and moved it to June, we started all over again. And we got a bit of a late start, but we found out that a lot of precincts, I think we're up to 18 different precincts, had canceled out on us. And so we had to find new locations or double up on some of them. And the same thing with a lot of the workers. A lot of our worker corps, there are people that, over the decades have worked these elections, and they're fairly easy to convince to do it because they really like to do it. But now it's a totally different game, and we've got some precincts that we're going to have to do a little bit of extra education because they're all new people. And I hope the public realizes that and takes it easy on those folks when they go to visit them.
Yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit more just a little bit later. But first, I know some voters may have noticed letters from the auditor's office that have the form to vote absentee. How are you encouraging people to vote absentee during the pandemic?
Well, Don, we were putting out PSAs, public service announcements, and putting the word out on our websites between the city and the county, and every chance we got for a while. And then, much to his credit, Secretary of State Steve Barnett pulled a thing together to send out a letter to and a form for a request for absentee ballot to every voter in the state that hadn't already voted. And if Minnehaha County is any indication, it's been a remarkable success. Now, we've got about a little over 10,000 primary ballots that we've already entered. We've got racks of mail down here and in our mail room that we've yet to go through. The city school, which has had an extended absentee or an absentee period for voting, is up at 10,000 as well. And so that makes over 20,000 ballots that were so far, and we're not at the end of the month when they really ramp up. That makes 20,000 ballots so far. Now, just to give you an indication of how big this wave of ballots that came in is the 2016 open presidential election had the most ever absentee ballots, and that was at 18,262 ballots.
Wow.
And you combine the two of them, I don't know where this is going to wind up at, but I know that we've had people here every night for about 3 weeks until 9:30, and they have been working. There's been a crew of 7, 8, 9 people working on opening absentee ballots, matching them up with the pictures that people have emailed us and sent, and getting the ballots back out to them.
And I know you said you're still going to have polling places open on June 2nd. What safety measures are you going to have to put in place? As we know, a lot of your workers are elderly that volunteer for elections.
Well, a lot of the elderly workers have opted out this time, but when I found out that we were indeed going to have these elections, I reached out to a manufacturer in Pennsylvania, and I've got 150 of these desktop model plastic barriers that are see-through barriers that we're gonna send 2 per precinct out to protect workers and workers from the both ways. It's protection both ways. The other thing that we're going to do this time is we are going to do one-use pens. So we'd like the voters to bring their own pen or pencil, but if they don't, we're going to supply them one. But then we're going to ask them to put it in a box when they're done, so nobody else uses them. The other thing that we've got is I've got 2 of these precinct sanitation kits that were specifically designed for wiping down polling booths, and it's got gloves for everybody. We're supplying masks for everybody. It's got some other features in that kit that are unique to precincts, like earphone covers for the express vote and a few other things. The other thing that we're going to do this time is normally we have people sign the poll list. We're going to write that out this time so there's no exchange of the paper going back and forth between the voter and the check-in process.
All right.
We are also to put up the old-fashioned voting booths with those spindly old legs like I've got these days. And that way we can spread them out, and people won't be getting close to each other when they're voting. And then one other thing that I've had made was we've got these stop signs, and they're 12 inches by 12 inches. And you put them on the floor, and it talks about distancing, social distancing. And so our workers will put them on the floor, and that will indicate where the voters are to queue up.
All right. A lot of good information there, Bob. I'm glad you joined us on Inside Kettleland. Speaking of old legs, you and me both. Yeah. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Still to come on Inside Kettleland, the Community Blood Bank is putting out a call for more donations, why they say they need to ramp up supplies right after the break. Welcome back to Inside Kettleland. When the COVID-19 pandemic first hit, blood drives were canceled across the region, leading to a shortage of donations. Many people and businesses stepped up to help, though. But now there is a new call for blood donations. Ken Versteeg with the Community Blood Bank, he joins us now from a blood drive right now on location. Hey, Ken, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me. I appreciate that. We're live from a blood drive.
As we mentioned, there's a blood shortage when the pandemic hit. How did the community rally to increase blood donations?
Yeah, so initially we had a great outpouring of people coming out to maintain a blood supply that needed to be strong so that we could address the needs of our hospital patients during that initial first couple weeks of the pandemic. Now, after we've kind of gotten into the pandemic and 6-7 weeks later, we don't see as many people coming out to give.
And now you're asking people to donate again. Why are you ramping up the supplies?
Okay, so a lot of the hospitals are actually now slowly implementing surgery, elective surgeries again. And then we're also kind of ramping up because preparing for the surge that is to come here in the Sioux Falls region. And we're not sure exactly what to anticipate during that surge. Are we going to see more people not willing to come out and give, not willing to come out and donate blood during that time? So in order for us to be well prepared for that and well prepared for elective surgeries coming back online, we're asking people to come out and give again. Individuals that have donated a few weeks ago are not eligible. You have to wait 56 days in between blood donations. But we're looking for individuals that are eligible to donate, that are feeling well and healthy, to come out and donate again and come out and support the local blood supply.
Well, speaking of that, what is the best way then for people to donate, or maybe even for a business to host blood drive?
Yeah, definitely. The best way to do that is to log on to our website at cbblifeblood.org. And if you click on donate, that will take you to a link to our donor room locations at Sanford and Avera McKinnon Hospital. You can schedule your own blood donation. at the hospitals, or you can go to our event page and click on the events that we have in the local area, and you can click on that specific event and schedule yourself for that specific blood drive. We have several events taking place in the next week ahead. We're going to be over at the Pizza Ranch in Sioux Falls on 41st Street. We're going to be in Madison as well. Opportunity in Brookings this week. So there's plenty of places for people to give, and there's openings, a lot of openings. And we definitely need people to come out and give and support the local supply. What we're basically doing is prepping for the unknown.
Yeah, and you know, for people who may be watching this right now, Ken, they may have some concerns. Maybe should they be concerned about donating blood? What safety measures have you put in place?
So we're regulated by we're regulated by the CDC, the FDA, and then the AABB, which is the American Association of Blood Banks. We're following 3 different policies from 3 different organizations. We are very strict on our cleanliness. We clean the seats in the common areas after each blood donation. We're social distancing, and that's why it's so important for people to make appointments, because we're not just accepting people walking in from the community to donate blood like we normally do. Our policies have changed, and in order for us to maintain all these different policies, it's easier for us just for people to make appointments and kind of have some kind of structure to the donation process. Staff wear masks all the time. All our refreshments are sealed. And we've really eliminated a lot of the contact between the donor and the interviewer and the phlebotomist, so to speak. So basically, it's safe to donate blood. It's safe to give a life and give blood. We made it a real easy process and make people feel comfortable when they come out and give.
And Ken, forgive me if I missed this, but should people be wearing masks when they show up, and should they bring their own, or do you have some there?
So if a person feels more comfortable wearing a mask during the donation, we encourage them to do that. If they want to bring their own mask, definitely. If they feel like they don't have a mask that is appropriate to wear, we can provide a mask to them as well. They just have to ask their staff, and they'll make sure to give them one. But yeah, if you feel comfortable using a mask, you certainly can. We have several people that have donated today even that have chosen to wear a mask during their donation process. So it's all in how you feel comfortable about it. Our staff are all wearing masks and shields as well. So our staff are trying to put the donor at ease, and it's the donor's comfort level that they feel, if they want to wear a mask, definitely.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Ken Versteeg, he's out for blood.
Hey, thank you so much.
Get back to your blood drive. Thanks a lot, Ken.
Take care.
Still to come on Inside KELOLAND, we are showing you some of our favorite positive stories of the week, including how one girl's letter to her mail carrier is getting national attention right after the break. Welcome back to Inside KELOLAND. Well, this past week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and to celebrate, the principal at Horizon Elementary invited her staff to stop by her house and pick up a free meal. But as KELOLAND's Kelly Volk is about to show you, they're not the only ones who were treated.
It may be pretty quiet inside this school building, but it's starting to liven up outside in the parking lot. These teachers and administrators are getting ready to drive in a parade in front of Horizon Elementary Principal Lisa Garrett's house. It's a way to honor her for receiving the South Dakota Elementary Rookie Principal of the Year award.
She's worked so hard this year, and she truly is an inspiration for us.
While Garrett is expecting familiar faces to trickle by her house for meal pickup, she's not expecting this.
When I started to hear the honks, I'm like, wait a second, they're all coming together, and I was very surprised.
Whether you're a part of the parade or you're the principal, it seems like everyone is showing a little appreciation.
Really, they are the ones who make it happen every day and are carrying out our mission to serve and make sure kids are staying safe and getting their needs met during this time.
We come to her with all of our stuff. I mean, good stuff, bad stuff, personal work. She's just been a huge rock for us, and it's an honor to do this for her.
Kelly Volk, KELOLAND News.
And it wasn't just teachers who were thanked last week. One fifth grader also wanted to show her appreciation for an essential worker you may not always think about. Emerson Weber loves to write letters and wanted to thank her mail carrier for what he does to keep people connected. As KELOLAND's Matt Holson shows you, she accomplished her goal and so much more than she ever imagined.
Maybe about 5 every week.
When Eugene Field student Emerson Weber finishes her studies for the week, she gets to work on her passion, writing letters and decorating envelopes.
Well, I send some to my friends in Idaho and North Carolina and some in Minneapolis.
Obviously, you think the person who takes your letters is pretty special. Tell me what you did for him.
Well, I just always thought I'm probably a handful with all my letters that I send. So I wanted to write one to Doug, and I didn't know his name at first, but then we kind of got introduced to each other.
Doug Scott is a city carrier who's worked for the U.S. Postal Service for 30 years.
Oh, it's just fun being outside every day and delivering the mail. I can't think of a better job.
When Doug received Emerson's letter, he went postal in a good way.
You know, sometimes we pick up little notes and thank yous, but this was a little thicker, so I opened it up and read it, and yeah, it made my day. So it was pretty special.
Doug shared it with his supervisor, who then shared it with USPS workers around the country. Touched by Emerson's efforts, letters of gratitude are flooding in from all over. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was really, really excited.
And so are you going to reply to all these people?
I already have, and I'm planning to send them on Monday or Tuesday because I haven't finished decorating the envelopes.
Emerson and her mom, Amy, hope it's a crafty way to deliver a big thank you to these essential workers. Well, yeah, is there anything you'd like to say to the Webers?
How you doing? I'll be out there later this afternoon.
We'll probably be watching out the window for you.
With Positively KELOLAND, I'm Matt Holson.
Emerson is responding to more than a dozen people from across the country. She and her mom encourage everyone to write a letter to someone they're grateful for. Well, Sioux Falls family got quite a shock when they woke up to find 7 lions and tigers in their front yard. They didn't escape from the zoo, but they may allow you to escape from anything that you're dealing with right now during these uncertain times. Early this morning, Addie Graham Kramer and her family got a front lawn of feline fulfillment.
I said to my husband, I said, there's some lions outside. And he goes, what?
The cardboard cutouts are Holly Hintz's idea. Due to the popularity of Netflix series Tiger King, she thought this would be a great way for people to claw through uncertain times. She knows all about those, even before the pandemic. 2 years ago, she started decorating the rooms of chemotherapy patients after her mother was diagnosed with cancer. It was a way to brighten their day in what typically is a dark time.
So that we can still spread joy and happiness to people and let family and friends and employees and everybody know you're still thinking about them even though you can't be with them.
Along with the cutouts, Hintz drops off a Baskin basket full of goodies.
With zebra cakes and jerky.
For the neighborhood, it's been quite the animal attraction.
We've had the FedEx guy that stopped by today to take pictures. We've had other just passerbyers. People walking their dogs have actually come up to the yard and taken pictures. So, yeah, I think it's brought so many smiles to a lot of people.
With the money she raises basketing people's front lawns, she'll use that to go back to doing what she really loves to do.
My goal with this is to be able to use the money to fund chemo rooms in the future so that I can keep going to the hospitals and decorating rooms for patients and bring joy to them in some of their hardest times.
That is great. Well, after the break, a tribute to all the people in KELOLAND who are spreading joy and positivity during the pandemic. Welcome back. When COVID-19 appeared in KELOLAND, our world changed it a lot in a matter of weeks, which spread into months. Photojournalist Kevin Kiergaard reflects on how people are coming together to show support with a little help from Corey and the Fireflies.
I just feel so bad for her.
Everybody needs someone to love. Everybody needs someplace to go. Everybody Everybody needs someone to hold them. Everybody wants to know why the little boy was teased in a crowd. They took his pride and shoved it straight in the ground. While the woman ignored her best friend, she kept it up until the end. We all realize we need love in our lives. We all realize we need love in our lives. We'll all be alright. 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 We'll all be
Helping to feed the world.
Everybody needs someone to love. Everybody needs some place to go. Everybody needs someone to hold them. Everybody wants to know why the preacher decided the kids, though if you live weren't the same as his. Why it's so easy to get out of line. It seems we're falling off all of the time. We all realize we need love in our lives. We all realize we need love in our lives. We'll all be alright. 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 Please don't worry about a thing, because every little thing, sing it. Please don't worry about a thing, sing it. Because every little thing is gonna be alright. Well, please don't
Love that song. Video of that concert, of course, was taken before social distancing recommendations. That is all the time we have for this week's Inside KELOLAND. For more information about today's topics, head to KELOLAND.com. Make sure to join us every Sunday following the 10 o'clock news right here on KELOLAND TV. We leave you now with aerial videos of last week Let It Shine event across South Dakota.